Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Political Excess. Today, I wanted to do some commentary about protesting in front of homes. Now, this is in the news due to some protests in front of Supreme Court justices' homes. And I know over the last few years, I've read about several protests in front of mayors and other politicians and candidates. And there's a lot of competing views about it, about the legality and such. Some of this I've put up here on the screen so you can read about. But my view is one that has to be consistent, whether you're for or against the individual or the policy, because there's always going to be people wanting to defend it or go against it if it suits their underlying cause or issue. So I generally think that protesting at someone's home or private residence is over the line and should be illegal. If you're walking by, sure, that's one thing. But if you're setting up to crowd around someone's house, have a picket line, or any kind of a camp, or any long-term demonstration, I think that is too far over the line. That could easily get out of hand. Now, of course, a lot of these homes are in wealthy areas, but the same concept should apply if it was somebody at a very small home or a mobile home. And having people show up there is definitely intimidating, and there's not a lot between that and something getting violent. And I think that preventing this is in the interest of the public, and in my view is constitutional. I don't like seeing it, whether it's somebody I like or don't like, whether it's a policy I like or don't like. I think people should be able to go home and feel safe, not intimidated, and not under pressure from protesters or a crowd of protesters 15, 20, 30 feet away. I think that is unacceptable. And that's across the board. Enforcing that is another thing. There might have to be checkpoints. That is another issue. But as far as not letting people show up like that, whether it's peaceful, whether it's unknown, now, of course, an angry, violent mob is one thing. A very peaceful, brief protest is another thing. There's a lot of gradations in between there. But I still think it's always one or two steps away from getting out of hand with damage, threats, violence. And there has to be some line that extends beyond one's private property, and keeping out of a neighborhood or protesting inside of a hallway apartment complex or a condo hallway or outside of buildings like that. It's all something I disagree with. And then another issue with protesting in a private neighborhood or outside someone's house is it's going to take up a lot of space. Unless it's just a couple of people standing there, there's going to be a lot more congestion. And then you run in the risks of blocking the streets, you run into noise disturbances, and you run into the neighbors objecting, because nobody wants to be in their house and see a crowd of people, next door. I wouldn't want to see that. And then you never know what a crowd of people will do. You'd never know how unruly they could get if they're motivated enough to show up to somebody's private address. And that is another thing, of course, the private addresses. I don't think anybody's address should be made public like that. That's just asking for something to go wrong. And then, of course, with this particular issue, there could be another angle of trying to intimidate judges. That's another gray area. Showing up at homes, does that amount to any kind of intimidation? So that's what I think about protesting at homes, private residences, whether it's a politician or not a politician. I just think that there has to be some line where you have some safety and privacy in your own home and next to your own home. Of course, that leaves a whole lot of room for protesting, just not at someone's home. You can walk by, you can do something small like that, but setting up a major protest, that I disagree with. So let me know what you think about this issue, if you feel like it. And if you enjoy this content, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.